I can't believe I'm saying this already, but happy Pokemon 25th anniversary. I wrote this video before Pokemon's big announcements yesterday, but what an exciting time for Pokemon. Snap's photo editing looks amazing, and we got 2 big new games announced at the same time with 2 studios splitting the work. You get your nostalgic remakes while also getting something completely experimental and new. I'm just glad that every Pokemon fan is happy, and no one will ever fight over the internet about Pokemon ever again. To celebrate the 25th anniversary, I've decided to go soul searching over the entire history of the franchise and pick my 25 favorite Pokemon of all time. I originally talked about my top 10 favorites all the way back in 2012. A lot has changed since then, thankfully, and it's definitely time to rewrite history. Let's talk about it. Today's video is brought to you by our returning partner Auto Chess, now available for download free on the Epic Games Store. With elements from auto battlers, strategy games, and drafting card games, this is one of my favorite new genres. Androto Studios Auto Chess comes to you from the same team that made the original Dota Auto Chess mod that started it all. It's an 8-player drafting free-for-all, where you assemble an army that fights automatically between rounds. The heroes are like Pokemon, in the sense that they can evolve into more powerful forms mid-game if you draft enough of the same one. The depth of strategy is insane. Everybody's drafting from the same pool, so it's up to you to discover which lines are open, which items to equip, which race and class synergies to pursue, whether to be greedy or bank interest with the economy, and where on the auto chess grid you're deploying forces. You can't buy any in-game advantages in auto chess. Everybody's on equal footing, and the core gameplay is completely free. If you want to check it out yourself, you can get the game today by clicking the link in the description. And if you want to help support this channel even more, you can use my Support a Creator code, JWittz, with any game that you purchase on the Epic Games Store. Thanks to Epic Games for sponsoring today's video, and good luck on drafting your first winning build. So, these are my top 10 favorite Pokemon in 2012. Not gonna lie, this list, is kind of trash. I had no Gen 5 Pokemon I had grown attached to yet. I primarily played the Pokemon TCG as my main connection to the franchise, and of course, 3 new generations of Pokemon had not been released yet. It'll be interesting to see how things have changed now that we've come so far. Obviously, this list is 100% subjective, so if you think my picks are dumb, you're probably right. But they're my dumb picks, so enjoy. Let's do it.
Number 10.
Wait, what? No! I only have top 10 title cards. Never in my life did I ever imagine we would be doing a top 25. So it looks like we're gonna have to make 25 through 11 the turbo round. Hold on to your butts. Go. 25, Xurkitree. I live in a world surrounded by cables, so leave it to the bundle of cables to become my favorite Ultra Beast. It just has so much personality. Look at it skip, look at it dance. A literal bundle of joy. 24, Tyranidar. An absolute unit. It's big, it's bad, and its mega evolution is bigger and badder. I've become a huge fan of Godzilla and the history of kaiju over the years, and nothing quite says classic bipedal kaiju quite like this pseudo-legendary. 23, Toxtricity. This Pokemon rocks! Literally, it is the punk Pokemon. I love the 2 forms based on standard and base guitars, complete with markings for how many strings each instrument would have. I love myself a good Pokemon mystery, and it's been fun seeing people theorize about what the mysterious Gigantamax Toxtricity geoglyph represents. The true darkest day? I don't know. Sword and Shield ain't that deep, but I'm gonna pretend it is anyway. 22, Heatmor. Okay, this is basically a meme pick at this point. It's the first line I said in Shofu's Pokemon 2013 cipher, and we brought it back for the 2019 version as well. I see a Heatmor, I hear the word Heatmor, I get nostalgic. Number 21, Goomy. Goomy is really cute. That's it, that's the tweet. Absolute goober of a dragon type. Loved it in the anime, and I love it on this blanket. What does the rest of you look like? Goomy, asking the hard-hitting questions. 20, Joltik. Another adorable little guy with a shocking impact. Just 0.1 meters or 4 inches long, it is tied for the smallest Pokemon of all time. Joltik is so small that even other Pokemon don't notice it sometimes. But that doesn't stop it from becoming an absolute menace in the TCG. I always loved watching this 30 HP unevolved Pokemon burst for over 200 damage with the Night March deck. 19, Celebi. Okay, this is just a product of my environment. Celebi is one of my wife's favorite Pokemon, so it's everywhere I go. All over the house. It had a huge role in my favorite mystery dungeon game, and it was really nostalgic finally getting to shiny hunt this Pokemon in Crystal thanks to the Virtual Console version. 18. Phalanx. Look at him go! Just look at him go! This is my first of many Gen 8 Pokemon that I really fell in love with. I love the pun on the Phalanx battle formation. It's like a Mario Wiggler, but with a big Sparta attitude. It's not exactly competitive, but I love trying to force no retreat as a gimmick. One of my absolute favorite attack animations. 17. Chandelure. Equal parts eerie and majestic, Chandelure is one of my absolute favorite designs from an ordinary inanimate object. What really elevated this mon for me was its inclusion in Pokken Tournament, where its wild mix of swinging and zoning matched my playstyle the best. 16. Sableye. It feels kind of wrong to say this, but I really seem to love the mad scientist man-made Pokemon. They might be abominations to nature, but man, they are so cool. Type Null is mankind's attempt to recreate the every-type god of all Pokemon in some horrible but kind of badass chimera experiment. I love its evolution, which breaks free of the form and its restraints and hits this rare blend between monstrous and majestic. It might not be as OP as Arceus, but this design is still godlike. 15. Blastoise. Our first victim from the original 2012 top 10 list. You'll also notice some of my old top 10 didn't even make this new 25. Strangely, I never seem to get too attached to my starter Pokemon, likely because they're given to you as a formality to begin every single game. That said, you never forget your first partner Pokemon, and mine was Squirtle all the way up. It's all reliable. Every time I see a Blastoise, it's familiar, it's comforting, it's where it all began 20 years ago for me. 14. Wooloo. A sheep so cute that I dedicated my first several hours of Sword and Shield and an entire video to mindlessly searching for the mysterious black sheep shiny. We already had a great sheep Pokemon for years, but for no particular reason, Wooloo's hypnotic fluffiness drew me in. There's not a lot that I can say that I haven't already. It's adorable, its name is ridiculous, and most importantly, it's spherical. 13. Sableye. Another oldie from the 2012 top 10, I'm still a big fan of the little scavenger gremlin. It even got a new giant gem defensive magic bouncing Mega. This Pokemon has always been close to me because it's been the engine of so many great Pokemon TCG decks, usually used to frustrate the opponent by scavenging for more resources. But more recently, it even got a gorgeous tag team with another one of the Pokemon on today's list, boasting much more raw destructive power. 12. Genesect. Yet another man-made abomination that found its way into my heart. Genesect comes complete with armor, swappable weapons, and a straight-up gun. The theory that Genesect is actually a modified Kabutops is also pretty intriguing, built from their shared body shapes and status as an ancient restored Pokemon. I also love the prominence of Red Genesect in the cards, media, and even merchandise. Red is my favorite color, and Genesect just might be my favorite shiny Pokemon. And closing the turbo round is 11, Mew. The myth, the legend, the original mystery of Mew and the playground rumors that followed it will always be a huge part of my love for the Pokemon franchise. Between its rare distribution, being the final boss in Snap, and its strange hieroglyphic-like card, Mew just might have been what started my obsession with Pokemon mysteries and lore in the first place. Mew isn't exactly as rare or special as it once was, with new distributions or appearances for it all the time, but it is still an iconic Pokemon that I'm always happy to see. Whew, we did it! From here on out, we're on to one of my classic top 10 videos. My top 10 current favorite Pokemon. Let's see how the final list shapes up.
Number 10.
Deoxys. Pokemon come from many places, but it doesn't get much weirder than a form-shifting alien space virus. Deoxys saw multiple successful appearances during my Pokemon TCG runs, such as boosting the power of the Team Plasma deck, or blasting for bonus prizes combined with Rayquaza. It has an absolutely killer exclusive theme song, and the whole thing is amplified by its appearance in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, which to this day is my favorite cutscene in the history of the games. It's so creepy, it's so cool, and it's the first of many new changes for my current top 10 favorite Pokemon.
Number 9.
Mimikyu. This concept is just genius. A Pokemon so horrific and so neglected that it crudely co-opted the look of the series mascot to be popular. When I first saw this Pokemon, I thought it was a joke. And while there is a certain dark humor to it, Mimikyu is absurdly terrifying. It has a haunting appearance in Sun and Moon, complete with its depressing Stan-like wall of Pikachu photos. It's just creepy. They refuse to show us its true form because it's so hideous that you would die on the spot. Add in the snapped neck looking animation when the disguise busts, and it's a perfect tongue-in-cheek horror Pokemon masterpiece. The irony for Mimikyu is that in lore it's supposed to be unpopular, but in our world at least, we love it.
Number 8.
Jigglypuff. For yet another anime star, good old Jigglypuff remains on my top 10. There isn't a whole lot more that I can add about Jigglypuff that I haven't already, but it's just as cute and ridiculous today as it was 20 plus years ago. It's still my melee main, and even though the general public hates the defensive playstyle the character promotes, it's still a thrill landing that nonsensical, high-risk, high-reward, life-ending rest attack. After years of the Pokemon anime taking a much-needed, well, rest from the anime gag, I literally popped off when I saw that it made a well-timed surprise return in the Sun and Moon anime. But after all these years, I don't think there's a single moment in the Pokemon anime that makes me laugh quite as hard as Jigglypuff laying the smackdown on an entire herd of Clefairy. A comedic masterpiece.
Number 7.
Garchomp. Wow, so bold, so brave, so daring of me to like these Pokemon that are extremely popular. Here's my Cynthia and Garchomp Nendoroid, which was next to my Cynthia and Garchomp deck box, with Cynthia and Garchomp sleeves that featured a deck with Cynthia's Garchomp C, and I used that deck to win a bunch of tournaments, earning me trophies with Garchomp on it. Its bipedal, wyvern-like appearance looks like it would be right at home in a Monster Hunter game, and that would be fitting, because Garchomp has been nothing but a boss monster. Whether it's Champion Cynthia's iconic Ace, or its Mighty Rain an actual competitive play, Garchomp has become synonymous with success. And considering its role in my own successes, it continues to be a Pokemon that I admire.
Number 6.
Reggie Giggis. Some things just don't change. After all these years, Reggie Giggis still remains one of my top 10 favorite Pokemon. I'm just a huge fan of that imposing, Colossus, Golem-like legendary Titan form. And now that we have even more Reggies added to the mix, it just adds to my love of the mythos. This is another huge TCG mon for me. When I returned to the game around Gen 4, it was the Reggie Giggis deck that helped me win my first tournament. It's just such a wild and unique card, knocking out your own Pokemon with sacrifice to become stronger and more powerful. That is brutal! And even though I'm not a huge VGC guy, it has been fun seeing the typically memed on slow start Giggis actually finding a home in the meta alongside Galarian Weezing's neutralizing gas. I also loved its appearance in Pokemon Generations at Snow Point Temple, which really captures the feel of an unstoppable Colossus shrugging off everything in its path.
Number 5.
Hawlucha. Growing up, I was in awe of the high-flying acrobatics of Rey Mysterio, which in turn got me obsessed with the history of Mexican lucha libre wrestling. The fact that they bundled this passion of mine into a flying press-dropping hawk is just perfect. In a world with a billion million different bird Pokemon, Hawlucha easily rises to the top for me. It's just so unique, like its signature move, which deals 2 different types of damage at the same time. Hawlucha also had a huge role in the anime, frequently appearing in Ash's most important Gen 6 League battles. We even got a Return of the King in the most recent anime, where B's Hawlucha destroyed Ash for a knockout. Over-the-top luchador wrestling and Pokemon battling are a match made in heaven, and it's no surprise that we've continued to get more and more wrestling Pokemon over the years. But for me, Hawlucha will always be the champ.
Number 4.
Hoppip. The icon returns. People were shocked that this Pokemon was my number 2 back in 2012, and maybe more will be shocked to see that it's dipped a little further, but Hoppip still remains a very important part of Pokemon for me. What began as a coincidental joke became a recurring character in my earliest days of the channel, and after enough time, it just became a natural mascot. It's definitely the Pokemon that most people associate me with, which is honestly flattering. Hoppip's whole line is simple but adorable. And while it has been an extreme pushover in the games, it was a part of an extremely aggressive and successful Heart Gold Soul Silver TCG deck. It was really nostalgic to revisit that card for my 3D card art video. And while it might not be my absolute favorite Pokemon, I still couldn't help but include it in our new intro animation. That Heart Gold Soul Silver Hoppip card that started it all is still there.
Number 3.
Mewtwo. Oh hey, it's our final man-made monstrosity! Once upon a time, I was a bigger supporter of Team Mew over its insidious clone, but over the years, I've really grown to appreciate everything Mewtwo represents. It's the original tormented, tragic boss monster of Pokemon. Its history of heartfelt stories, animations, and game appearances eventually won me over in a huge way. The Many Faces of Mewtwo video to this day is one of my favorites that I've ever made. It was just so rewarding to dig deeper and deeper into the lore of a single character, which led me to a video format that I'm still using and loving today. It's destructive and terrifying, but sympathetic, and never quite beyond redemption.
Number 2.
Alolan Raichu. It's no secret that I love cute Pokemon, and Alolan Raichu just might be the cutest damn thing I've ever seen. After years and years of Pikachu getting all the spotlight and alternate forms and other gimmicks, I was so happy to see big sibling Raichu finally get some love and a new variation. Alolan Raichu is the first electric and psychic type Pokemon. Literally my two favorite types married together like I just bought a brand new Zap theme deck. I love that its existence is a fun reference to the iconic surfing Pikachu. Just look at the way that it floats around in the air, on its tail, psychically. It's just so cool. It was also another Pokemon that inspired me to make one of my favorite videos, that A-button mashing video, when I was trying to shiny hunt for shiny Alolan Raichu. Alolan Raichu helped inspire me to learn how to code, which is a completely new passion that I continue to study more about every day.
Number 1.
Ditto. I know a lot has changed, but of course my favorite's not gonna change. It's still Ditto. Always has been. Ditto is adorable and gelatinous, and most importantly, Ditto is everything. I love that even Pokemon merch has begun to embrace that duplica Ditto, where Ditto can become any Pokemon, but with a silly, derpy face. It's adorable. Or horrifying, like in the case of Detective Pikachu. Ditto is everywhere. It's been a top-tier TCG card, it's the iconic breeding powerhouse, it was the star of the recent Pokemon Go event, it's every Pokemon, and most importantly, it's still my favorite Pokemon. After all these years, it's fun to look back and see which Pokemon have resonated with me. The type of content that I create and follow has changed a lot, and the series has changed a ton as a whole. As Pokemon continues to stretch onward to almost 1,000 unique Pokemon, I never realized how hard it would be to make a video like this. Even with the extended slots for 25 Pokemon, I feel like I'm missing so many. It was so hard to make cuts. If you have some free time, let the world know what your favorite Pokemon is in the comments. Maybe you've got a cool story to share with it, or maybe you just like a Pokemon because they look cool. That's valid too. Either way, thanks as always for following my content for all these years, and have a happy Pokemon Day.